goal of this conference was? What did you hope to achieve?
Well, with the UNCONVENTION, we had a particularly specific goal. We wanted to start the process of changing the mindset in Europe. We wanted young people to come out of their shell and take risks, take that first step. At the same time, we wanted to showcase that if they were willing to do that, or if they're willing to take the risk, society, and in particular institutions and government, was ready to be there and help them take that step. And equally, we wanted to be there to inspire young people, to not only just tell them, well, look, if you do this, there's this. It's also more about, why would you want to do that? What can you achieve? So the only way you can do something like that is to actually put young people in front of experienced, successful people who can then say, well, look, here's how I went about it. So for example, Alec Ross, when he said, I was 28, I just got married, I had a new house, and I left everything and I started an NGO in a basement. And my dream board member was Bill Gates and Bill Kennard, and in the end he got Bill Kennard. And here 12 years later, here he is in the European Parliament as a super hot invited guest. That is the kind of dream that a young person can look up to and say, wow, you know, it does happen, right? And so we are here, and the convention was meant to make people think again, and to think out of the box and say, yeah, I just don't need to do what my parents told me or what my society thinks I should be doing, like as if going to school, college, and then getting a job. I can think differently. I can be myself. I can look into my heart, see what's important to me, and try to take the first few steps to achieve that.
That's great. And did you feel that it accomplished those goals? Were you happy with how the conference turned out?
So thank you for asking me if I was happy, because a few people asked me if I was satisfied. I am happy with the conference, but I'm not satisfied. I think we can do a lot more. But I'm happy that we made a significant milestone. I was checking with my colleagues, and these figures are unverified, but apparently we went more than 250,000 unique views on Facebook in this month, which is amazing. And apparently last night we had about 120,000 impressions on Twitter. So it seems that in terms of getting out there and getting the message out there, the UNCONVENTION did very well. Also in terms of assembling some of the world's greatest innovators and personalities on innovation, I think we did quite well. The engagement from young people was good. I would like to see more of that. But ultimately, I think what the UNCONVENTION really achieved was to put a stake in the ground, sort of be a milestone and say, you know what, there's a different way of going about it. And Europe is not at the sidelines, it's not in the back trenches, it's in the front line. And Europe is thinking about innovation, entrepreneurship, and making that happen. That is what I think is the most important takeaway from the UNCONVENTION.
What's the next step?
Sleep for one, maybe some food, but I think the next step really has to be breaking the next frontier. So next year we want to go bigger. We want to do more things. We want to have tracks, for example. We want to involve more stakeholders. And we want to make the UNCONVENTION the UNCONVENTION of its type in Europe. And with the support of the stakeholders, the young people, our partners, I think we can get there. But what's fundamental to the next step, and the next step itself, is the participation of Europe. What do we want to do? Is this going to be the one milestone and then everybody looks back like they did on Woodstock and say, oh wow, yeah, that was the coming out moment? No. Or is it going to be that step when everybody says, okay, you know what, we can make it happen. We need to make it happen.
One more question. What can the government do to help promote innovation within your framework of what you think needs to happen?
I think the government has and here I'm talking about the European governments, but obviously also the national governments, regional governments. I think the government has to play the role of the facilitator. For too long in Europe, we've had the scenario where the government has been the role of the job giver or the job creator, if you might. And I think this model doesn't quite chime with our times. It rings hollow. The government needs to therefore move to a position where it's facilitating young people and others to take their destiny in their own hands, follow their dreams, and not wait there for jobs, but create jobs, create products, create an economy, and create growth. And that means a fundamental change of mindset, not only for the young people, but also for government, to move away from the view of we are here to protect and sponsor and build, to we are here to help you build. I think the European Commission is making some important steps there. The Innovation Union, the Digital Agenda, both of these arms of the Commission are making some important steps. The European Parliament is clearly starting to prioritize innovation, national governments too, but we are very much at the beginning. We're just scratching the surface here. So governments in Europe can do a lot more on innovation entrepreneurship, and we hope that the momentum that has been generated by the UNCONVENTION, where the European Commission and the Parliament were very well engaged, carries on, and that they do get more engaged, that they do support the change of mindset.
Is there anything else you want to add? Are there any particularly moving or inspiring stories that you learned about during the convention?
I'd like to say here what Karen Wilson, the expert from OECD and a speaker at the UNCONVENTION said. She said, well, you know, Kumar, you were talking about how we are here to inspire these young people, but I felt inspired by the young people. And I think I reflect that view very much, because when I spoke to a lot of the young people here, especially the people for the PISH, the European Young Innovator of the Year, and of many others who came there, their passion, their commitment, their willingness to go out there and start doing something, irrespective of what the support may be or may not be, inspired me to feel that, you know, this is not just a cause, this is a movement. And we are standing at the brink today of a movement of innovation entrepreneurship that can lead to a fundamental change in our societies and our way of thinking. And that is really inspiring.